Hey guys, what is up? This is Cody, or xCodeh. How's it going today? Hopefully everybody that's watching this video that clicked on it is having yourself a snazzy day. Thank you for spending the time out of your day. Check out my video. I was looking at the past two videos that I made, and I realized that they weren't the craziest of stories. So on today's video, I'm going to be telling you guys the story of the time that I got searched with a 1/4 ounce of weed in my pocket. And really quickly before the video starts, I want to remind you guys, if you'd like to support the channel other than just watching the videos, there is merch available for I believe the next 12 days. You can go to xCodeh.com/shop or check the first link in the description. Thank you for everybody who's purchased something. So this story starts out, I believe my freshman year in high school. This was a period of time where after school, we just kind of hang around this shop area around my town. It was the hangout spot every Friday night for pretty much all of the freshmen and sophomore kids in high school because there's a movie theater. So every Friday night, people would go there and hang out. You know, us being degenerate potheads with nothing to do, we'd end up being there almost every day after school, walking around, seeing if there's anything to do whatsoever. Usually never finding anything to do and ended up just smoking weed behind this pharmacy. Either way, it was one of those days. I remember it was definitely in the winter because I remember having two shirts, a hoodie, and a winter jacket on, and the wind was still ripping right through it. Absolutely miserable, stay inside type of weather kind of day. We're walking around for like an hour and a half after school trying to find some weed. We didn't have any weed, and that was not a good time. And when we didn't have any weed, the only thing that we're going to do is try to walk around and try to wait for a phone call to come in from somebody with weed. And so we're walking around, I'm sitting there shivering with my phone, trying to find somewhere to get weed. And then out of nowhere, we get the holy grail of phone calls from one of my favorite people to pick up the devil's lettuce from. We walk over to his house, meet up with him. It's super chill. He hands us a bag of some of the best smelling sacred skunk I've ever smelled in my entire life. It was super lemon haze. You opened that bag up, it was like a citrus explosion in your nostrils, man. And the dude even hooked it up with a couple extra G's. So we head back to the shop area and we go behind the pharmacy where we used to always go smoke. We ended up smoking like almost a whole gram. That shit tasted so good. So like I said, we had nothing to do on this cold ass winter day. We had absolutely nothing to do. And I'd say about 20-minute walk from where we were, there was a Walmart. And I think to myself, and I think about Walmart, and I'm like, aimlessly roaming through Walmart high as fuck? That sounds way better than what we're doing right now. So we start the journey, and oh man, I'm gonna tell you, it is a journey because we have to cross 4-lane, busy-ass interstate traffic to get to the other side where Walmart is. So we're running across the fucking 4 lanes of traffic, trying not to die. It's like we're playing a game of Frogger. We finally get over there, and we're walking all the way down to this Walmart. I'm telling you, it takes 20 minutes to get down there. We walk all the way down there, we finally get there. We walk in, get the heat blasting on us, feeling fucking good, bro. We go over to the cheap-ass aisle because we're broke as fuck. I remember getting some, like, extremely generic brand beef jerky. Like, I think it was a couple dollars. Beef jerky's expensive. Like, this was questionably cheap. I don't know what this shit was made out of. I remember I grabbed a pack of beef jerky for me and my friend, and then I grabbed a 150 pack of sandwich bags, just so I had bags for weed when I'd go home, because I'd always have one bag of weed at home, and I never want to bring all my weed out, and I'd always need another bag just to bring like a bowl pack or two to go and smoke with my friends. So if anything happens, I wouldn't lose all my weed. So I grabbed some great value generic ass plastic bags, my beef jerky. We head out. I remember we got some weird looks from the clerk as I'm checking out 150 sandwich bags and beef jerky, and that's it. So here's where the story starts to get good. We're standing outside of Walmart, munching on our beef jerky, and for whatever reason, I decide to ditch the plastic bag that the bagger gave me when we bought our items. I take the 150 sandwich bags, and I'm holding the box in my hand, and I'm like, well, I don't want to just walk down the street with this. That looks pretty fucking sketchy. So my jabroni self decided to open the box of plastic bags, sandwich bags, and take all 150 of them out in a giant bunch in my hand and just shove them into the inside pocket of my winter jacket. There was a giant bulge in my jacket, and it just looked absolutely stupid, but I thought it was a better idea than leaving them in the box and taking the plastic bag with me. So we start the journey back to where we began, back to the shopping area where we used to always hang out. We get about almost there. There's about 2 intersections in between our destination. And coming up on this intersection, I see a police officer driving down the street in the opposite side of the road. on oncoming traffic. And I could see this cop car slow down and peer directly at us, give us the grill, the straight grill as it just went by. And I'm like, oh, here we go. Just in my mind. I didn't even tell my friend about it. I might have been like, oh shit, there's a cop. So I turn around. I don't know if this was the wrong move at the time, but I turn around just to look at the cop. This car whips around like their life depended on it and just whips it forward and catches up to us. And now at this point, I'm thinking maybe this police officer's going to a call. Maybe they're going to something else. So let's cross the street and try to get out of this situation. So 4 lanes of traffic, bless that it was a red light. We started to walk across, not even halfway across. Lights go on, siren goes on. Cop whips across the entire traffic. He doesn't even care. I mean, it's a red light, so there's not a lot of cars going by, but goes right in front of cars, almost hits a couple. Pulls into the parking lot that we're walking into, and I'm like, oh God. Oh my God, this is terrible. This is just terrible. The cop pulls in and drives and parks diagonally right in front of us. I am just shook. I am shaking at this point. A female officer gets out of the car and just so, how are you boys doing today? Oh, pretty good. Just got back from Walmart. She's just like, so, what have you guys been doing today? Why are you walking down the side of the road? And we're like, well, we just came from Walmart. We just got some beef jerky. And then she goes on to ask us, do you guys have any guns or knives on you? And we're like, no. Why would we have guns or knives on us? Why would you even accuse us of that? And then she starts telling us, she's like, oh, you see the craft store parking lot over there? There's been 5 break-ins in the cars over there, and you 2 are walking sketchily down the road with black jackets on. And I remember both of us looked at each other and didn't know what to say. I was like, officer, we just went to Walmart. We didn't break into any cars. We don't have any guns or knives on us. I don't know why you're stopping us. I definitely didn't have as much confidence in my voice as I do now as I'm saying this. It probably sounded more so like, officer, we just went to Walmart. We're not doing anything. Because on top of it being 20 degrees below zero with wind chill, I was fucking scared as hell. I had a 1/4 ounce of fucking weed in my pocket. I was underage. It was not a good time. So then the cop goes to so you sure you don't have any guns, knives, or burglary weapons on you? And we're both like, no, we do not. She's like, well, I'm going to have to make sure. Stand over here. She takes my buddy aside, takes both of his hands together, whips him behind his back. She's like, spread your legs. Now keep in mind, my buddy had the bowl in his pocket, okay? And it wasn't any sort of bowl, okay? It wasn't any sort of bowl. It was the Gauntlet. And I'll tell you why it was named the Gauntlet. My buddy was at Starbucks in the same shopping area a couple days previous, and he noticed that there was a sock with something in it in one of the plants outside of Starbucks. So he dug it out, and what is it? It is the biggest bowl I've ever seen in my entire life. This thing was super sized. This thing must have weighed at least 5 pounds. If you hit someone in the head with this, you could seriously kill them with it. I'm not even kidding. That's how fucking heavy this thing was. It was absurd, way too thick. And this dude had it just in his front pocket. You look down at his pants, he had a giant bulge in his pants. It looked like he had 5 bananas in his pocket, bro. And it did not take the cop, not even 15 seconds, to just run her hands down his body, go right to the bowl and pull it out. And it's like, what's this? And he's like, it's a bowl. And then she's like, oh, so you guys don't have anything on you. Okay, I see how it is. Continues to search him. He didn't have anything else on him. But now it's time for me. My heart starts fucking thumping. I'm fucking freaking out, dude. This is the first time I'd ever been in this situation. I had watched cops my entire life. This was it. I was going to jail. The cop comes over to me, grabs both of my wrists with a lot of force, dude. She was fucking serious about this. She whips my hands behind her back, holding it with all her force. I spread my legs, and she is just patting me down, and she could feel me shaking. There's no hiding it at this point. My legs are shaking. She's going up and down the right side of my jacket, and she comes across this giant bulge of 150 sandwich bags that I had shoved in there, and she just opens my jacket and pulls them out. And she looks me right in the face with this giant crumpled up 150 sandwich bags. There's fucking 20 bags flying all over the place in the wind. Oh, so what are these for then? And I look her straight in the face, and I say, oh, my mother needed them for sandwiches. I'm not even fucking with you. I'm not even kidding. Straight face, no laughing at all. I dead serious said that. And she was like, yeah, I've heard that one a million times. Okay. She goes and stuffs the plastic bags in the grill of her car. and comes back to me. And this is where I know it's all over. I know it's all over because the other side of my jacket had all of the weed in it. And I'm just looking up at the sky and I'm like, oh, geez, God, I don't pray that much, man. But bro, if there was ever a time that you would just bless me with one tiny little thing in my life, let me get away with this, bro. This is so fucked. I was just looking up at the sky like, damn. This is probably one of the last times I'm going to look at the sky. The next day I'm going to be in a fucking jail cell or some bullshit. Oh God, here we go. She goes to the other side. And I remember her saying it as she had her hand on my fucking weed. She pats it. You can hear the crinkle of the bag and everything. And she's just like, what are you, nervous? What do you have, weed on you or something? Pat, 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 crinkle, crinkle. She keeps going. She kept going. And I'm sitting there like, what? Like, what? There's no way she didn't find it. She's fucking with me right now. She goes down to my shoes. Take off your shoes. She looks at my shoes. That's it. I'm standing there with a 1/4 ounce of weed in my pocket. I'm blown away. My buddy's in trouble. He's getting a ticket. He has to go to court. And I'm just standing there like, there's no way this is how this happened. I can't believe it. The police officer had her hand on my weed, a whole 1/4. It wasn't like it was a gram. It wasn't like it was an eighth or a slice. This shit was a whole 1/4 in a plastic bag, like in the inside pocket of my jacket. I can't believe that she didn't find it. So the police officer ends up giving us a stern talk on how we shouldn't smoke weed and how we shouldn't walk down the side of the street with all black clothing on because we look like we're breaking into cars and stuff. Which is absolutely fucking bullshit. You should be able to wear whatever clothing you want and walk down whatever goddamn street you want at any time. This is America. Okay? We're walking away and I look at my buddy and I'm like, holy shit. Because he knew exactly what was going down the whole time. And I'm like, dude, I am so sorry that they took the gauntlet, bro. They gave him a $200 ticket. He ended up having to go to court, ended up getting probation, having to do these drug classes. It was all sorts of, all fucking sorts of bullshit. And one of the best parts of the story is the police officer was in the wrong. She was definitely in the wrong. We didn't do fucking anything, man. We were walking down the street. We just got some beef jerky. Obviously, we were smoking weed earlier in the day. We were breaking laws, but I get that. But bro, we were not breaking into cars. We were not doing anything of that level, man. And my buddy's parents actually ended up calling the police station, and this police officer actually got suspended leave. So she got in trouble for what she did because she had no authority to just stop 2 random teenagers on the side of the road and just search them on the spot. It was straight up profiling and straight up bullshit. So anyway, the police officer was in the wrong, but either way, it was still a fucking crazy story. I could have gone to jail for intent to sell or distribution of cannabis because I had the bags and the weed. I wasn't selling weed at the time, but like, you know, they would have said I was 100%. There was no question about it. So I probably would have been, I probably would have gone to jail for around, I'd say anywhere from 30 days to a couple months, been on probation for at least a couple years, and I would have never made my YouTube channel. I would have never been able to smoke weed after that, and I wouldn't have done half of the crazy stuff that gave me the life stories to build this channel. So yeah, if this story went south, I probably wouldn't be here I wouldn't be here telling you. Yeah. Leave a like on the video if you guys enjoyed. Hopefully you did. Let's go for 10,000 likes on the video, man. I'd really, really appreciate that. Check the link in the description to follow me on all my social media links. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Turn the notifications on to never miss one. And stay snazzy. Peace.